For more exclusive content from CNBC Crypto Trader, hit the subscribe button now.
Crypto Trader is proudly brought to you by Element, a full-service investment bank for the digital token capital markets.
Last week on Crypto Trader, we started our coverage of Seoul with the Beyond Blocks conference. This week we continue our coverage, but this time we get into the thick of things. We're going to see the accelerators, the projects, the funds, the parties, and even the Crypto World Cup. So what do you say we kick off this show here at the Blockchain Partner Summit? Who wins in this wallet game? What does the wallet look like?
We need to have crypto wallets that are just as easy to use as someone's iPhone is, and just as safe.
CZ, so good to see you again. You've become a serial conference goer.
And then suddenly Satoshi said, well, if I stick around, a cult of personality will form, and so Satoshi just disappeared.
What else are you seeing out there?
We're seeing more tier one projects.
Everyone says, put me in front of FBG and let me sell my project. We're under the spotlight once again. They're incubating some of the hottest new projects.
So these are focusing on machine learning and threat intelligence.
That's Ergo. So Ergo is the public blockchain.
Which other show in the world gives you exclusive access to events like the Hash Night? You good for that?
You got it.
Kicking off the conference was an all-star panel. Roger, of course, Charles Hoskinson, and CZ, who we talked to in Taiwan just 2 weeks ago. There was one question that I forgot to ask him.
Okay.
Tether. The entire community is worried about Tether. Are you worried about Tether?
So for Tether, I think there's a lot of concerns and a lot of worries. I've met with the Bitfinex people. I personally have not seen their bank accounts, but from a logical point of view, they're making so much, they have so much profits from their regular exchange business. They really don't need to do anything crazy about the tethering. I think the reason they cannot release their bank account details is that if they release whichever bank they're using, then the bank account gets shut down.
But Binance is one of the biggest holders of Tether. And if Tether goes down, it could effectively have major collateral damage on Binance. Doesn't that worry you?
It does to some extent, but then again, that worry applies pretty much every cryptocurrency, including fiat currencies. We have seen fiat currencies go down in history a lot, probably more times than there have been in cryptocurrency. So yes, the concern is always there, and that's also why we're listing other stable coins as well. So we actively promote other stable coins, like including TUSD, including other newer types of stable coins, which we will push. So hopefully with more selection, the risk gets diluted somewhat.
CZ, it's so good to see you, my friend.
Thank you
We'll
very
chat
much.
again soon.
I think for Binance, we just want to provide a good system, stable exchange, a very ethical exchange, and exchange that really works and really solid that you can trust. And it's just one choice out there. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
So here's what we're going to try and do here. I've pinned down Roger Ver, and I'm going to try and have a full interview with him without talking about Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. You good for that?
You got it.
Roger, a quick confession before we start. When I first met you and you told me you were spending all your time on a wallet, I couldn't understand why you're spending so much time on a wallet with all the opportunities in crypto. But I think I now get it. It's because the wallet is everybody's entry point into crypto. You don't need to trade in an exchange, but you must have a wallet. Is that the right thinking?
I think the wallet is the interface that everybody uses to use whatever cryptocurrency they want to use. It's the wallet, the wallet, the wallet. That's when you're going to buy something with your cryptocurrency, you're using your wallet. So it's the most ubiquitous part of the crypto coin ecosystem.
So there's all this hype about exchanges and exchange coins, and everyone's trying to get into exchanges. Do you think that is because today the only use case for crypto is speculation?
No, but I think there's a lot of hype around anything when you see how much money these exchanges are making. So anything that makes that much money is going to get a lot of hype. But more competition is going to come to that space, and we're going to see the profit margins pushed down over time.
And where are we when it comes to wallets? Do you think that the wallet ecosystem is built enough? I don't have a single wallet that can accommodate multi-coins on multi-phones.
Yeah, I wish I could say that the wallets are awesome and my grandma can use them, but no, we have a long ways to go with the wallets.
Who wins in this wallet game? What does the wallet look like?
The wallet looks like something that's super easy to use. So look at Apple and how good of a job they've made making the iPhone easy for everybody to use. We need to have crypto wallets that are just as easy to use as someone's iPhone is, and just as safe.
Is the private key a problem? Is the fact that users have to remember a private key, is that a problem?
I think that's not so much a problem on the hardware or software side. Most of the leaks of people's private keys are due to social engineering attacks or people just not understanding keep your secret keys secret.
Now, let's talk about the ecosystem. So prices in the ecosystem are down, but I think we're not going to have a discussion around prices.
Last time I checked, they're up 160% for the last year, so that feels pretty good to me.
So you're good with that,
Yeah.
and I'm good with that. Now, are there any projects that do excite you in the ecosystem?
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. In addition to that one we won't mention, I'm really excited about prediction markets. I think people have really underestimated how important prediction markets are to society as a whole, because not only can they be used to predict the future, they can be used to figure out what actions we should take today to achieve our desired goals for tomorrow, or they can even be used to influence what happens in the future. So like, these are incredibly powerful tools, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate how exciting prediction markets are.
When you talk about prediction markets, I mean, the most prominent token is the REP token, which is linked to the Ogre project. Any other projects in the prediction markets that excite you?
So it hasn't launched yet, but the guy that basically started it all off, Paul Storks, with his Bitcoin Hive Mind, I think he's kind of been the thought leader in this whole space for a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he has come along. But there's a bunch. May 1,000 flowers bloom. Let everybody try something, and we'll all use whatever one actually works.
And just a reminder that if you are watching us on YouTube and you are loving this content, hit the subscribe button now.
We just do it ourselves. This panel alone has created more value than most of the nations in the world. We're now in control, not the government.
The best thing that Satoshi did was disappear. That's what Charles said on stage. Charles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's just like a great party. It's knowing when to leave, right? If you stay too long, you kind of spoil it. And it's the same situation with Satoshi. So he set up the whole ecosystem. He got everybody where they needed to be. Great developers came in, great minds came in, and we saw a lot of progress. And then suddenly Satoshi said, well, if I stick around, a cult of personality will form, and independent thought and ideas can't form. So Satoshi just disappeared. And he forced the ecosystem to figure out how are we going to run this big decentralized Leviathan without a leader. And that was the entire point. So knowing when to go is just as important as knowing when to stay.
So do you have any ideas as to who Satoshi was? Do you speculate?
No. I think Satoshi's dead and gone. And, Satoshi's just an alias connected to a private key, and he's gone. So there's no value in my view of saying that Nakamoto's this person or that person. What's the point? Even if Nakamoto was to be revealed, or whoever was Nakamoto's to be revealed, that person would probably not have a lot of influence at this point of the space or the roadmaps and so on.
Now, Charles, you talk about an ecosystem that was built around Satoshi Nakamoto and this whole blockchain ecosystem.
Right.
And we've had quite a tough time in the beginning of 2018. It hasn't been the easiest trading time in blockchain.
Well, there's been a harder time. When it was at $30 Bitcoin, it went down to $1. I mean, that was a lot harder.
But at the same time, there's been a lot of investment into blockchain projects. We're seeing a lot of blockchain projects coming out.
Yeah.
Does this investment in these blockchain projects excite you, or do you think we're getting all like protocoled out?
No, I don't think we're getting protocoled out. I think what's happening is we're working our way through a series of incredibly complicated problems. We're talking about how do we represent assets, how do we move assets, what do assets need to look like, what level of privacy should they have, who should hold them, how should they hold them. These are foundational questions, and what happened was that all of them were answered with a particular flavor with Bitcoin, and what's happened is people realize that they don't have to answer it that way. And so they're gradually deconstructing things, breaking them down to first principles, and they're starting to rebuild things with completely different ways.
Now, walking through the corridors here and being in Korea for the last couple of weeks, I've seen 100 blockchains, all who promise 20,000 transactions per second, all which tell me that they're decentralized and are very secure. Are you buying this?
No, it's bullshit.
Protocoled out? That's a great question. Something we've been talking about with a lot of our guests over the last couple of weeks. What do the other guests think? Are we blockchained out? Are these blockchains real?
I don't know is the short answer, but time will tell. You hear all sorts of people talk about new amazing technologies, free energy machines and this and that. Well, believe it when it's there, and the proof is in the pudding. So maybe some of these new blockchains will be amazing, will change the world. Maybe they're just a flash in the pan with a bunch of vaporware behind them. We don't know, but I hope something even better than the current batch of cryptocurrencies comes along, because we'll all get to use that, just like I hope something better than my current iPhone comes along.
So that's generally what we see. It's hard to get beyond that level of performance just by the nature of how these systems work, unless you're willing to centralize the systems. And we have those. It's called the Googleplex. Microsoft has it with Azure. Amazon has it with AWS and so forth.
I mean, there was a project that got mentioned yesterday, a project called MetaHash. And MetaHash claimed that they're doing between 60 and 80,000 transactions per second with 220 nodes running at the moment.
And let me guess, there's DAGs involved? And all
No
these
DAGs.
things. No DAGs?
No
Oh,
DAGs.
okay. That's usually the
a
buzzword.
modification on proof of stake.
Oh, okay, great. Sure, I'm sure that they, in some toy benchmark, were able to achieve something. So I'm very skeptical of these claims.
They all say they're decentralized. They all say they're fully secure. Have we got to a point where we're saturated?
In the future, blockchains will be like APIs. So I don't think there'll be any one blockchain to rule them all. I think there'll be many different blockchains that specialize in different areas. And as a decentralized application developer, you have the choice to choose from many different blockchains to power different services on.
So, if some funds are protocoled out, what are the funds investing in? We sit down with Asia's biggest fund, FBG, Kingsley Advani, the blockchain oracle, and visit one of Korea's upstart accelerators, Block Crafters, a fund we've been hearing about over and over.
We have Block Crafters.
Block Crafters.
Block Crafters Capital?
So if you've been watching our show, no doubt that you remember Kingsley Advani. I'm starting to call him the blockchain oracle because this guy knows about all the good blockchains before they even come on the scene. He introduced us to Oasis Labs, he introduced us to Thunder, and today hopefully he's going to introduce us to a whole lot of other blockchains. Kingsley, good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you again, man.
You've been in Korea for a few days.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're feeling here, being in Korea and looking for blockchains.
Definitely. So the scene is definitely more active than a lot of the other countries. We're seeing a whole host of regulators with projects, with funds, with exchanges and media, all attending local meetups and conferences.
Is this your first Korea visit?
It is my first Korea visit.
And were you impressed when you arrived here? Were you like, wow, this place is buzzing?
I'm very impressed with Korea so far. I do see the ecosystem as more developed than other countries, and this is very productive. It means that more projects will get funded and there'll be a higher quality of project.
What do you think's causing this Korean blockchain scene? What's giving it the advantage against places like San Fran, the UK, etc.?
Sure. So Korea is already quite advanced as a country, and digital payments especially. Like if you look at majority of the population, they do use a form of digital payments. So if you go in a taxi or if you go to a shop, most of the transactions are paid for using a mobile phone.
So you know that Korea actually launched their first form of digital payments through an app 20 years ago. And that's what has led to this adoption. From an ICO and investment point of view, I know that's your strong point. What have you found? Have you found any trends that you can speak of?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, in Korea, we're seeing that reverse ICOs are the new ICO.
Reverse ICOs are the new ICOs.
Yeah.
So you're saying big companies that have existing businesses who are bringing their projects to market.
Yeah, definitely.
And are there any reverse ICOs that you've seen?
Yeah, so we've seen Carry and Passport coming out of Hashed. So these are projects with existing high user adoption. We've got millions of users already with these businesses, and the project's introducing a token. Now this is quite interesting because you can put millions of users on a token, and with the right token incentivization, you can have really viral effects.
So fair to say that the reverse ICO is the new ICO in Korea?
Definitely.
What else are you seeing here?
So we're also seeing accelerators becoming the new form of investment. Now, projects don't just need investment anymore. The best projects really need help and support. They need media, they need partnerships.
So I'm not going to let you go just yet because I'm loving these trends. Any more trends that you're seeing coming out of Korea?
Sure, so Korea is really emerging as a global hub for blockchain. Regulators are starting to look more closely at blockchain regulation and to become more accommodating to new projects and exchanges.
What else are you seeing out there?
We're seeing more tier 1 projects. We're seeing more and more researchers, so top world experts in cryptography, launching new blockchains.
Such as?
We've got Elaine Chi from Thunder, we've got Dawn Song from Oasis, we've got Silvio Micali from Algorand, we've got Definity, Hashgraph, and Cosmos. We've got all of these great new blockchains that are launching their mainnets towards the end of this year and early next year.
That's Kingsley Advani, and no doubt you'll join me in calling him the blockchain oracle. We're here with Ivan from Dispatch Labs. Ivan, your favorite event this week?
I really enjoy the Beyond Blocks.
So guys, it's been a long week, yeah?
Yes, it is.
The hottest for crypto for sure.
Guys, it's been a long week, yeah?
It has indeed, very long.
How are you feeling?
Tired, but very fulfilling at the same time.
So what was the highlights of your week?
Highlight of my week is signing a partnership with this guy.
Yes.
So it's been a long week.
Yes, it has. Way too long.
Korea Blockchain Week has been just phenomenal. The amount of events outside of the main events themselves have been it's just been mind-blowing.
So it's been a long week, yeah?
Very long week. It's exhausting, but thank goodness they're good parties. So
we are pretty tired. My voice is struggling a lot, but happy to be here in Korea. Thanks to your documentary, as I said.
What do you mean, thanks to my documentary?
Yeah, well, I follow you on Twitter, so I see your YouTube, and it's amazing.
We continue our coverage from Korea, but only this time we're interviewing one of the biggest fund managers from China. Vincent Zhao is the founder of FBG Capital, and if you've been playing in this space, you'll know who FBG Capital are.
Thank you.
Very nice to have you on our show. So you guys are based in China.
I come from China, but our team is based globally.
The first name that they want to get into is they want to get into FBG. Everyone says, put me in front of FBG and let me sell my project.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the last 6 months. What have been some highlights of your investment thesis in the last 6 months?
Privacy, project, as Oasis, Origo, and some others. We invest in lending protocols such as Libra Credit. We invest in Nervous, China's new blockchain, Codex, AI plus blockchain.
So before I let you go, you mentioned listed projects.
Yeah.
If I were to ask you for your top 3 listed projects today that you think are really going to make it, what would you say they are?
I think first US, Zilliqa, and Elf from China.
Elf. Yeah.
I think these 3 projects. If you like these 3, I think I will buy this 3. Yeah.
Are there any projects that do excite you?
Well, certain things do. Like I really like Hyperledger Fabric. I think that there's a lot of good thought there. It's a very pragmatic system. I think there's over $1 billion worth of projects in one way or other connected to it, and they're trying to solve real things from supply chain management and so forth. I'm fairly excited about any project that tries to extend Bitcoin. So I really like simplicity, and I really like this idea to bring Snorsigs into Bitcoin. Yay Blockstream for that. And also Rootstock is a pretty cool project. The idea of adding smart contracts into Bitcoin, that's cool. Obviously, we're excited by our own portfolio, Cardano and so forth, but you always get excited by the things you do yourself. So.
Now I know you talk about your own portfolio being Cardano. What else is your own portfolio? I always thought you were the Cardano man. I mean, I knew you were linked to Ethereum in some way, but I always thought you were the Cardano man. What else sits in your portfolio?
Right, well, we also work on Cash and Ethereum Classic, and we have some unannounced projects that we're working on at the moment. For Ethereum Classic, we actually built the first dedicated Ethereum Classic full client. So we wrote it in Scala. To date, it's probably the most concise Ethereum client ever constructed.
Any other projects that excite you, or sectors? Other than the one that we shall not mention until the end of the interview.
It's the same thing that had me excited about cryptocurrency from day one, was bringing more economic freedom to the world, because more economic freedom makes everybody's life better off. And I see cryptocurrencies as a tool to bring more economic freedom to the world. Everyone of every color, wherever they happen to live or wherever they happen to be born, it doesn't matter. Cryptocurrencies are for everyone, and that still has me excited today just as much as it was when I first got involved almost 8 years ago.
So I got involved a long time after you, and I was excited about the same thing, about bringing financial freedom specifically to Africa. We've been hearing this chant for a long time. Where are we when it comes to actually bringing these people the financial freedom? When I walk in Africa today, they don't know what cryptocurrency is, there's no adoption, there's no financial freedom. What are the barriers that stand in our way?
So I don't think there's one single barrier. Of course, regulatory barriers are a big giant barrier, and oftentimes the regulatory hurdles are more difficult than the technical hurdles. But on the technical side, I think we just need to build the wallets that are super easy for everyone to use everywhere, and we're still a long ways away from that, but we're working at it.
And we also love working on the permission ledger side. So we're in Ethiopia right now. We have an office in Addis Ababa, and we're really excited to do things in the coffee supply chain management. We were just in Rwanda, and they've been talking about doing like business registration on a blockchain. So it's really exciting to see what we can do in that space.
So spending time on my home continent.
Well, that's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. I think 95% of the goodness of this technology will be realized in Africa and Southwest Asia and South America and so forth, not in America.
I always say that if you're in America or you're in Korea, you don't need the blockchain.
Right.
You've got great banking facilities, you've got ATMs everywhere, you can transport cash. But you and I both know that when you're in Africa and you need to get money from point A to point B in Africa, there is a huge cost involved. And often it may even be impossible to do it without the blockchain.
Right.
Yeah. Charles, always good to have you on our show.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you very much. You're a great friend of crypto trading.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now I know we said we'd keep it without Bitcoin Cash, but I have to ask you guys, Bitcoin Cash and the rollout of Bitcoin Cash, are you guys bringing financial freedom to the world?
Yeah, I think if you look at it, Bitcoin Cash has more adoption around the world for merchants than any other cryptocurrency other than maybe BTC.
Roger, are you still holding Bitcoin?
I do still have some BTC, yeah, because like any good investor knows, diversify, diversify, diversify. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
Okay, now, as a ratio, BTC holdings versus BCH holdings?
BCH holdings are significantly more in dollar terms.
Significantly more in dollar
significantly
terms.
more. More than double.
More than double?
Yeah.
Roger, thank you very much for coming on Crypto Trader.
My pleasure, thank you.
That's Roger Ver, and we did keep it very close to not talking about Bitcoin Cash, but my curiosity got the best of me.
And if you're curious about Bitcoin Cash, go to free.bitcoin.com and we'll give you some for free.
That's my friend Roger Ver, and he can't stop talking about Bitcoin Cash. Which other projects out there do you like today?
We like Certic. So NEO recently released their investment in Certic. Binance has also released some information around investment in Certic. So Certic is formal verification on the blockchain, and in an era where smart contracts can be hacked, developers can write poor code, Certic aims to ensure that every smart contract is bug-free.
So Certic is one of our favorite coins, and they were featured on one of our shows a few weeks ago. Any other projects? I'm gonna ask you for one more project.
I'm very excited about Avalanche. This is a new project coming from Emin Ginsura. So he's a top academic researcher coming out of Cornell University.
And what does Avalanche actually do?
Avalanche is a new gossip protocol. So traditionally, blockchains have been built on Nakamoto consensus, but Avalanche is a completely new school, new family of protocol where other blockchains could actually run on Avalanche. So this is a layer even below the existing blockchains.
And just a reminder that if you are watching us on YouTube and you want more of this information, now is a great time to hit that little red button in the bottom corner.
You are a trading master. You see trading opportunities where others see coincidences. Charts and patterns are everywhere. You can run with the bulls or be at one with the bears. So, don't waste another pip and take your talents to eToro. See why so many top traders choose us as their main trading platform. Start trading on eToro today.
You've seen Hashed, you've seen the other fund managers, and now it's time to move on to the accelerators. We're here at Blockcrafters, and they're one of the biggest accelerators in Korea. They're incubating some of the hottest new projects. Guys, so nice to be here.
Hi.
How you doing? So what is Blockcrafters?
So Blockcrafters is an accelerating firm, and I think it's safe to say we're the biggest accelerating firm in Korea.
The biggest accelerating firm in Korea.
Right.
Who are the partners in Blockcrafters?
So we started with 8 partners. Our managing partners come from a VC background. So I come from a startup industry. I founded 2 different companies and sold second one to a unicorn. We have a tech guy based in San Francisco, and we have a media influencer.
Yeah, I started crypto with YouTube, kind of YouTube influencer.
In terms of investment, what kind of investments do you look at?
Well, I really look into the projects that has data, because data is where the blockchain is really going to be adopted. But my favorite must be Mediblock.
He was a doctor, and you were also in the medical industry. Are you also involved in MediBlock?
Yeah, I'm very close with the CEOs, and I invested personally in MediBlock, yes.
And what is it about MediBlock that you guys like so much?
Sometimes the problem is big in Korea about the patient's information, and MediBlock have actually the solve about it. So it's a good example that blockchain can change the world.
So MediBlock, if I understand correctly, they're putting the patient's data on the blockchain. And they've got the backing of the Korean government to do this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So MediBlock is one. I'm going to hand it over to you. One of your favorite projects?
My favorite project, what I invested personally, was ELF. It's a Chinese, more protocol level project.
Do you think that we've seen the end of protocol fever and the beginning of maybe a new generation of developments?
Protocol fever is not over yet. I think there's going to be more protocols coming out.
What are your favorite protocols?
Maybe we should talk about Bifrost.
Bifrost is more like a middle range protocol. So there's a protocol and there's a DApp, and Bifrost go in the middle. So the protocol can be Ethereum, EOS, Neo, everything can you choose,
Yes.
and Bifrost customize it to the perfect fit for the DApp.
So it's a layer between dApps and protocols. So it allows you to customize the blockchain to your needs without actually having to hard fork it. Any other interesting projects that are finding your accelerator as their home?
So we do accelerate projects in Korea, but we also help projects from abroad. This project we call Noia is based in Lithuania, in Eastern Europe, and they're doing P2P level content distribution network and distributing by a blockchain.
Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure being here. Thank you for hosting us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. So those are the funds. Now let's meet the projects. This is our second time in Seoul in the last 3 months. The first time we met Icon, Blue Whale, Metadium, and the Hash portfolio. Now we're crisscrossing the city, introducing you to more. I've just listened to a panel given by a bunch of people talking about security around blockchain. Last week we talked to Andre, an ex-FBI agent now working in crypto security.
Took down things like Anonymous, LulzSec, Silk Road.
And he was on a panel with a company called Sentinel Protocol, who are trying to secure the blockchain. So after speaking to Andre, we now know that no user is safe using the blockchain, and we're all susceptible to hacks and phishing scams. That layer of the blockchain is very important if we're going to make blockchain mainstream. So in that spirit, I'm here to meet Sentinel Protocol, which is developing a protocol to help users of the blockchain.
Hey Rad,
how are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you again.
Let's go through.
Let me introduce Sentinel Protocol's office.
So this is the R&D office, but you do have other offices.
Yes. We actually have offices in Tokyo and also in Singapore. Our
Okay.
developers are here making the product.
Are
Correct?
these people hackers?
Some of them are definitely hackers. Some do have security backgrounds, and some of them are software engineers.
So what happens over here?
So these are focusing on machine learning and threat intelligence. Over there, they're currently working on releasing and building the total ICO protection solution. So as you can see, they're working on the front-end UI.
Did you guys get hacked when you did your ICO? Did you get phishing scams?
We have witnessed a lot of phishing, a lot of scam addresses. That's why we actually decided to build one urgently. Let's go talk to our CEO, Patrick Kim.
Let's go. Hey.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Take a seat.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
So Patrick, after listening to the ex-FBI agent talk about how susceptible we all are to being hacked and phishing attacks, particularly in the blockchain, I'm nervous. Should I be nervous?
Well, you don't have to be nervous because we have solution for you guys.
Now tell me about what you're actually building.
You know that I used to be like a victim of the cryptocurrency hacking previously.
Yes.
And then I kept asking myself that, why? Why I got hacked?
So you got hacked?
I got hacked.
How much were you hacked for?
At the time was, pretty silly. That time was I got hacked about 7,218 ethers.
7,218 Ethereum. So your ETH was gone. 7,218 ETH gone into a wrong address.
Yeah, totally gone.
And you decided that you're going to create a protocol to solve this.
Yeah, that was one of the trigger points actually, yes.
And what does Sentinel Protocol actually do?
It's all about the safety. The information about hacking incidents, scams, fraud is everywhere, but there's no such point to aggregate it. So first thing is that Sentinel Protocol is to gathering the information
So it's what you're doing is in the decentralized world, you're centralizing all the hacker data.
Yes.
So why don't you show me how it actually works?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yes. I'm going to introduce our CTO.
All right. You're going to show me how it all works?
Yeah.
So what am I looking at here? It looks like a lot of code. What are you building?
I'm trying to build a system that searches for suspicious pattern in public chain like Ethereum.
So Sentinel Protocol, how does it actually work practically to protect users of the blockchain?
So users encounter various suspicious addresses or URLs and a lot of other scam attempts. And once they encounter it, they report it to our Sentinel portal, where the data is then delivered to our Sentinels. And our Sentinels are security experts who can really analyze what is behind the scene. They see the past records, they see the patterns of the transactions behind the addresses, and based on that information, they judge whether something is really wrong or not.
Now, if something is wrong, then they'll report it as a wrong address, right?
Yes, yes. And the users, everyday users, can get an instant feedback from our portal once the decision is made.
On a practical level, does this protocol integrate with exchanges? Does it integrate with wallets?
So there are two types of integrations. So first, we try to provide a service for everyday users where in a type of Chrome extension. So when they serve to various sites, and if certain site is reported by other users to be malicious, then he gets a warning.
So in the real world, what you're saying to me is that in future, or right now actually, what I can expect is that if I enter an address, the address is a malicious address, as I'm about to press enter, it's going to say to me, stop.
Yes.
This address is malicious.
Yes, that's what we're trying to build.
And you're keeping the entire blockchain safe.
Yes, that's our purpose.
Now, how far are you guys in the rollout of this?
We are launching our product step by step. So in August, we are launching our first application based on our threat database. And without our layer, the crypto space is still incomplete.
So that's Sentinel Protocol, and I don't know how we ever felt safe or feel safe using the blockchain without that layer of security on the blockchain. Now, speaking of blockchains, we also met the chief architect of one of Korea's leading public blockchains, Argo. So we're here at the Beyond Blocks conference in Korea, and we're looking for the best projects coming out of Korea. We've been asking around, and the public seem to say the same thing. One of the best projects is Argo. Let's find out what Argo is. One, what exactly is Argo?
Well, Argo is a protocol level product that plans to scale the blockchain performance way beyond the current scale, so as to enable mass adoption of blockchain by various apps.
So what is it that is going to make Argo different?
We are focusing on something called the multi-tier architecture. Traditionally, projects like Ethereum has been depending on a single tier architecture where every app runs on the single blockchain. With Argo, we are planning to include a multiple layers of blockchains, so every app gets their own blockchain as to scale beyond their current limitations.
We went right into Gangnam Square to see what Argo is all about. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How are you doing? It's so nice to be here at Argo. Let's go. Oh wow, hi guys.
This is Phil.
Hey. Phil, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Hi, welcome to Argo.
Good, great. So is this the Argo offices?
This is one of our many offices around Korea. We've also opened offices in London and soon in Berlin as well. So the development team here is developing some of the core technology around the actual protocol itself. So we have developers developing the software, but also developing the programming environment around blockchain.
So you're talking about advanced technology, and everyone's talking about these new blockchains that are doing 10,000 TPS, and it's all great. What makes Argo different?
Yeah, so Argo is based on technology that's been incubated actually here in Korea, in Seoul. It's been developed with customers like Samsung, Hyundai, Lotte Card. So the team here has actually been developing products around blockchain for 4 years. So the genesis of Argo comes from our partner Blocko. So it's actually technology that's already been tested and proven, and now we're trying to take it to the next level.
What is Argo? What is the technology?
Yes, Argo combines actually two different technologies. What you know as blockchain, which there's a lot of discussion around that in the market, but it actually combines cloud computing as well. So we try to combine two ecosystems together.
But the Ergo blockchain is completely open source.
Correct.
And anybody can develop on it.
Correct. It's not just open source, it's an open source platform, which means the code will be made available to any developer around the world, but we're also providing the development tools and the environment to attract more developers to make it a true platform. Many businesses want to have trust but control. You can only achieve that with a hybrid model. That's what we're providing.
So does this mean that it's not a fully decentralized system, that some of it sits on a centralized system within the enterprises?
It is decentralized. The question is who controls the nodes and where do they live? So some companies, some governments, some banks do need to have the servers in a controlled environment, but not necessarily by them. So we believe telcos, telecommunications providers, can be the authority to host those servers. So in many businesses, they do not want blockchain running on laptops run by children or kids, where there's absolutely no governance and no control. So that's what we're trying to achieve.
Okay, now you guys have just done a capital raise. How much capital did you guys raise?
We raised just under $30 million.
And are you guys going to have a public sale?
Watch this space.
Watch this space. And if our viewers do want to watch this space, where can they go?
They should go to the ergo.io Telegram channel. We have a very vibrant, active Telegram channel. If you go there, all the information about what we plan is there. And as I said, watch this space, get involved, look, and you'll be hopefully excited what you hear in the next few weeks.
So I guess the message here is watch this space.
Next, let's scan the space for more new projects in our second edition of our In the Spotlight segment.
Jack, what is Kronos?
Kronos very simply seeks to tokenize the best hedge fund strategies. We want to obtain the best trading talent on one ecosystem. We want to give it to as many people as possible, right? We want to open access to as many people as possible.
So how do you do this?
We do this through a two-token structure. The first token is a utility token. That gives you access to all of the funds that we will create. Each fund will have a security token attached to it, and those will trade on the future security token exchanges.
So who do you think the target market is for this?
Anybody who has crypto, right? You've seen the last few months, the crypto markets have been very volatile, and everything has been highly correlated in one direction down, right? So in this type of a market, if you have a buy and hold strategy, you're losing, right? Doesn't matter how many coins you hold, you're losing because it's very highly correlated. With our strategies, as long as there's high volatility, you stand a good chance to actually make money.
Ryan, what does Foam do?
Foam is building spatial protocols and location verification standards, ultimately a proof of location protocol.
Okay, but what does that actually mean? What is proof of location? Why would I use it?
So GPS works great to figure out where you are, but there's no way to speak back to it and add that to registry. So if you want to share your location with someone, they have no way to tell if it's true. So in a smart contract environment, supply chain or IoT, we need a way to actually generate proofs so those systems know that those claims are correct.
So how do you use the blockchain?
So we use blockchain so people can stake into service level agreements so they can promise to rerunning the protocol correctly so people can offer location services in their areas.
Julian, what's the name of your company?
Flying Carpet.
And what does Flying Carpet do?
So basically Flying Carpet, we extract mathematical patterns out of video streams and we use drones to gather data. So for example, we had a proof of concept in Papua New Guinea where the drone, we basically built an algorithm that was able to teach the drone how to fly autonomously in the plantation of coconuts, gather how many coconut in plantation, give a real estimation of the number of coconuts, and then we build coconut futures. We tokenize this data and we sell it to to communities for trading.
And then you can sell futures, you can bank finance it.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can do for energy provider.
Okay, but now I'm going to be critical here. What do you need the blockchain for?
So the blockchain is for us, we can have developers that build algorithm for a specific video. Like for example, if you want to do like biomass analysis, then a developer can build an algorithm, you hash this algorithm, you push this hash on a smart contract, and then this drone can be turned on. The only way that this drone can fly autonomously is by using this specific hash of this algorithm.
We're here in the middle of the conference, seeing blockchain as it happens. So we've talked to the biggest names in crypto Korea, met the funds, seen the projects, and now it's time to see the undercurrent powering Korean Blockchain Week, the parties. And what better place to start than Hash Night?
Come on! Keep energy up in here. Before we get started, I want to thank Hash for putting this all together. So let's give everybody a round of applause for Hash right now. All right, here we go.
Which Which other show in the world gives you exclusive access to events like the Hash Night? The biggest investors in the world can't get in here, but we're going to give you exclusive access. Let's go. Why do you think Hash is such a big company here in Korea?
I think actually Hash is pretty good because they own a lot of their own decisions, right? They're not like responsible to LPs, and they're one of the few funds that we've seen that like actually stick behind convictions. What he said.
Normally, Hash Night was a big party brand, but these days we're going more towards education and community building.
What's your favorite project from Korea?
Hash like Block Cloud, Argo.
Republic? These guys know their stuff, Block Cloud and Argo.
Thank you for your support.
By day, it's conference, conference, conference. By night, it's network, network, network. Like here at the FOMO Masternode. I was dead. I couldn't make it, so I had a guest step in and meet the VIPs.
All right, let's talk to some people at FOMO Masternode. So we're here at FOMO Masternode with the host, Andrew. How's it going?
Things are great.
Who's here that we should know?
No, certainly. There's Neo Global Capital. So we've got Tony from Neo Global Capital, the founder, and we also have Jack from Kronos from Taiwan. So we've got David Wen, who's one of my really good buddies, in from Shanghai. He's one of the early investors in D-Chain and Neo. Been at Carlyle, Wall Street for over a decade. There are people from Silicon Valley and San Francisco. So Kathy, she's a Peter Thiel fellow. She's also Forbes 30 under 30. She's literally right over there.
What's the vibe? Like, what are you excited about?
I think it's been a really great event so far. I've been meeting a lot of great funds, some great companies, and also sharing about all the exciting things happening in Silicon Valley, which is where I'm from.
So how are you liking FOMO Masternode?
FOMO Masternode is one of the coolest events I've seen thus far.
Are you having a good time?
Yes, have a good time. Like them very, very much.
I'm very happy to enjoy here. Yeah.
And I thought it was actually interesting that people want to actually hear what's going on outside. And I think people here need to be really excited about being local here in Korea because the US market is actually kind of jealous.
I myself are from San Francisco, so we have a lot of people here from the Bay Area, which is really exciting. Kind of, Silicon Valley and Crypto Valley, now transplanted and meeting people all over the place from Korea.
So we are off to do some networking.
Every evening something's cooking. The Gifter Party, Coty, iCapital. Just hit the hotel lobby and you'll see Brock Pierce, and EOS T, Metacert, Lumen, Dispatch, Metadium, and Erica from CryptoSoul. The clubs in Gangnam. The bars in Itaewon where you could find blockchainers and crypto enthusiasts everywhere. It's tough to keep up with everything, so we had to catch up with one of Twitter's biggest crypto influencers, Nai.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Shil Nai from Crypto Twitter. Beyond Blocks and the Blockchain Week here in Korea was amazing. Had a really good time. Let's take a look.
One of the highlights of the trip was the after party. Blau was the DJ. As you can see, there's a lot of great projects involved, and Korean barbecue is delicious. Bitcoin ATM in South Korea. Some other cool events such as the OKX Exchange had a meetup, and the Blockchain Partners Summit with some big names such as Binance.
What's with the mask?
So I'm anonymous online. I'm anonymous on Twitter. My name's Shil Nai, and it's just my brand. It's how I do things.
So that's Korean Blockchain Week by conference and by night. But we can't forget who won the Blockchain World Cup. The other Andrew Lee, who we've had on our show, organized the 4-team tournament with teams from TLDR, ICO Today, and Blockchain Eye.
Rand, we miss you here. We had to split hosting duties between myself and Moon.
Thanks, Andrew. All right, so we're here, we're amping. Your team's in the finals, so how do you rate your chances right now?
Strong. We have some very weak players, some very strong players.
It's been a long week. We're all conferenced out. It's been 7 days, 3 conferences, after parties, meetups, investors meetings, and everything else in between. We're done here from Korea, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be in India, in Malta, in South Africa, in Las Vegas, in New York, and many other destinations. For now, I've got a plane to catch. Until I see you again, trade well, my friends.
Crypto Trader is proudly brought to you by Element, a full-service investment bank for the digital token capital markets.